For our 30th episode, we will be taking a look at my hands-down favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. It's weird. It's taken us 30 episodes to get to Mr. M. Night here, but the time has finally come. This is one of those beautiful unintentional comedies one can absolutely not get enough of. They do tend to talk about a lot of things that are happening in this film.
All right, let's hear some theories about why this might be happening.
There appears to be an event happening.
I told her the probability of something happening in Philadelphia is very low.
I think they've been affected by whatever's happening.
The radio says these attacks started happening in the cities.
Whatever's happening is happening to smaller and smaller population. Could this really be happening? How would you know if something were to happen?
Something's happened along the East Coast.
There's something happening in a few states. It's happening here. She was alone when it happened.
But in the end,
nothing happened.
So sit back and enjoy a perfectly normal review on The Happening. Old Blackwater, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? See? It's gonna be perfectly normal.
I hear you whispering. Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
Nothing happened.
Let's try this again. Hello and welcome to the Movie Void, where we review whatever the fuck we want to review. And today we are doing none other than M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening. M. Night Shyamalan. I don't even know where to start with this guy. The thing is, he has brought us a lot of shit over the years. He has brought us also some fairly okay movies, but the thing is, I don't like hating on him. Just because he has so much passion in the bullshit that he does. You can't really blame him for trying and failing. You know, there were actually days when people thought that he was going to be the next Spielberg. Oh, good old times. This movie is considered to maybe be one of maybe his worst movie ever. I think it's his funniest and best movie ever. M. Night started his career with two classic films, independent movies that were received well, but not really breakthrough films yet. Those were Praying with Anger and Wide Awake. It was in 1999 he got his breakthrough film, The Sixth Sense, where I think everybody will agree that this is a film that could be considered as a real masterpiece.
I see dead people.
What followed was Unbreakable in 2000. It got a bunch of mixed reviews, but generally was well received. Things got a little fucked up when Signs came out, even though its premise and its acting and so on wasn't really bad at all. The whole thing about aliens that are invading planet Earth, that their biggest fear was water, turned off a lot of people because it was just fucking silly. Until then, everybody was used to M. Night always ending his films with a twist.
What a twist!
He had been doing that since The Sixth Sense. He was the man with the twist.
With a twist of lemon.
By the time The Village came out, when did The Village came out? Let me see. 2004. People were so used to M. Night popping up with some kind of a twist in the end that The twist in The Village was pretty much laughed at. And this is pretty much the part of his career when things started going a little towards the downward spiral. This was the time M. Night needed something new, something fresh, something that would be different than his other films. And his first attempt at doing this was with Lady in the Water, which I haven't seen yet, but I've been told that it is equally hilarious to The Happening. We will definitely be checking it out. And after that came this beautiful little disaster piece.
I hear you whispering.
What? No. What? No. What? No. What? No. Ma'am, we're not.
So, what went wrong? Why was this movie so hilariously bad and so panned down by critics? I mean, we have Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel from New Girl in the lead, both very well-known actors and people who actually are known for being really good at their craft. We have M. Night, who was really trying hard to make something big, and he actually was very convinced that this project turned out well.
You're just shocked. Your mouth is hanging open. And when we screened it for the first time, people came out and they were so shaken. They just stood outside and like holding their arms and stuff. And I was like, this is good. This is really good.
What? No.
Well, let's find out and see, shall we? We open up with a bunch of shots of clouds. I think M. Night is trying to show us how it looks like inside his mind. Lots of clouds moving from here to there. It doesn't take long until the first piece of absolutely unusual dialogue appears.
I forgot where I am.
You're at the place where the killers meet to decide what to do with the crippled girl.
I wonder what the fuck that woman is reading, because whatever that is, it sounds pretty dark. What the fuck are the killers going to do with the crippled girl? Why are the killers doing something with the crippled girl in the first place? How crippled is this girl? Jesus, there's so many questions already in the story that this woman is reading that I think M. Night would have had more success filming that as a movie.
¡Que no vas a olvidar en tu vida inválida del demonio! ¡Déjalas! ¡No se le ocurra seguir! ¡Qué feliz! ¡Quita esta vieja zorra! ¡Por favor! ¡Que la voy a matar! ¡No, por favor! ¡Dios mío! ¡Cállate! ¡Tú besándote con mi hombre!
So these young women, they're just chilling in the park until all of a sudden everybody freezes. It's almost like in a Neil Breen movie. And then this happens. Strangely, no blood. I thought this movie was rated R. What the fuck? So a similar situation also takes place 3 blocks down in New York, where guys are just falling from the skies. And then we cut to our dearest darling, Mark Wahlberg.
Look, I don't know if you guys have heard about this article in the New York Times about honeybees vanishing. Well, apparently, honeybees are disappearing all over the country.
Now just listen to him speak. Everything he says sounds like a question.
Could be. I mean, we're just pumping so much junk into the environment, they're just keeling over.
He always sounds somewhat confused, but calm and friendly.
You don't have an opinion? You're not interested in what happened to the bees?
At first you think he's reaching out to the students by talking in this weird way. But then you realize that this goes on for the entire film. And then you notice that Mark Wahlberg in this movie is acting completely bonkers. Because all the time, he's sounding like this. And in a weird way, it is extremely soothing, but still totally, what the fuck? Such a nice teacher, that it even appears that he's coming on to his students.
You're gonna be a heartthrob your whole life.
But he's not. He's Mark Wahlberg. He's just the way he is. He talks like this. He asks questions. He's trying to be nice, but he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Anyway, the vice principal walks into the room. Mark Wahlberg gets taken down to meet up with a bunch of other teachers. It's weird when the teachers get together what phrasing they use.
There appears to be an event happening.
Because they use the word event. First thing you think is, oh my god, Guns N' Roses is playing at Madison Square Gardens! But no, Mark Wahlberg sends all his kids home, but not without doing something unnecessary and quirky.
Hey guys. Nothing.
Why is this piece of dialogue in the film in the first place? So then we meet this guy, a teacher colleague of Mark Wahlberg's, who wants to leave the city and wants to take Mark Wahlberg and his wife along. Then they start having this conversation about Mark Wahlberg's wife.
She's acting like she's distant or something.
What?
I can't say anymore.
And they seem to be having some marriage problems, but Mark Wahlberg also describes her as being odd.
If she's acting odd, just don't worry about it, okay?
Odd.
And god damn it how odd Zooey Deschanel is in this film.
Do federal, state, and local officials have a plan in place for this type of catastrophe? Are they utilizing all the manpower, the money? God damn it, it looks like you girl had a fucking lobotomy for fuck's sake. Well, they leave their house and meet up with Mark Wahlberg's friend and his daughter at the train station. So they're on a train, and Mark Wahlberg's wife gets this phone call from Joey. And it seems that there was this little romance going on.
We ate tiramisu together. That is it. I told you that would be it. You have got to chill out.
Well, we then found out that a few other cities have been attacked, and people are getting panicky and panicky and panicky, and then the train stops.
Now what?
And Mark Wahlberg. He doesn't he's not the kind of guy who just accepts things for the way they are. No, no, no. Mark Wahlberg needs to ask questions.
But why are you giving me one useless piece of information at a time? What's going on? Hey, why would you just stop? You can't just leave us here.
Sir, we lost contact.
With whom?
Everyone.
All around me are familiar faces.
The dialogue in this film is just so bonkers. No employee from no company would ever say that like this. They'd probably say something like, the internet is down, the phone lines are down, we can't reach everybody. What is this vague, we lost all contact? Are they in space? Retarded new girl says some comforting words to the little girl.
We're so much the same, Jess. I don't like to show my emotions either.
I have to agree. Zooey Deschanel in this movie has the same brain as a 7-year-old. So they end up at this diner.
You see this ring? This ring can supposedly tell you what you're feeling. Let's see what you're feeling right now. Ooh, yellow. That's cool. That means you're about to laugh.
Yeah, I know. If I was her too, I was going to be about to laugh about his acting myself. Well, the cheerful mood is suddenly interrupted when somebody gets this video of a guy letting tigers at the zoo eat his arms up. There was actually an extended scene of this where it really got ridiculous. I would have loved to see that in the original cut. The news talk about this happening, and everybody grows in big panic because they're in the middle of everything and decide to split up in many little groups and get out of there as soon as possible. So Mark Wahlberg finds a ride and wants to take his wife, his friend Julian, and his daughter Jess along, but Julian doesn't want to go because he is worried about his wife.
I can't get a vid on the phone or email or nothing.
How long?
It's been about 2 hours.
And he found another ride that is going to the city where his wife is and has the possibility to pick her up.
There's a car over there headed to pick up friends and family, and they said they could squeeze one more.
Before he leaves, he tells a retarded Zooey Deschanel the following words.
I got her,
Don't
Julian.
take my daughter's hand unless you mean it.
The correct thing to say would have been, take my daughter's hand, with an expression in your face like you just shat yourself.
It makes you kill yourself. Just when you thought there couldn't be any more evil that could be invented.
Hello, and welcome to Carlos's Who Shot Themselves Better contest, where we determine who shot themselves better. Our nominees today are Abigail Breslin from the Dirty Dancing remake,
I carried his watermelon.
and Zooey Deschanel from The Happening.
It makes you kill yourself. Just when you thought there couldn't be any more evil that could be invented.
Vote now in the comments, telling us who and why. This person should get the award. We will declare a winner after 100 comments, and one of you lucky guys will get a DVD of The Room. Yay!
Well, Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel's ride still stops to get some food for the way, and this guy starts randomly talking about hot dogs.
We're packing hot dogs for the road. You know, hot dogs get a bad rap. They got a cool shape, they got protein. You like hot dogs, right? By the way, I think I know what's causing this.
You do?
It's the plants. They can release chemicals. You like hot dogs, don't you?
I like hot dogs. Hot dogs are great. Comfort me, hot dog, from the brain deadness of this film.
Let me see what they making right here. Oh, that's cereal. That's cream of wheat. Wait a minute, maybe sheep hair. Ugh, what is that? Boo-boo? Flour, cookie dough, manure, chocolate. That look like a malt, chocolate malt. Damn, what is it? Oh, beef jerky. Oh, hot dogs. This is a hot dog? Oh, cuz I ain't never eaten a hot dog, cuz.
Don't worry, hot dog. No one is gonna hurt you. What? No. Cuts to Julian's ride. And now watch this reaction this woman has towards these dead people hanging around. There is no way she just saw that. To calm down the girl from the people hanging around, Julian comes up with this math problem.
How much would you have if I said I would pay you a penny on the first day, and then 2 pennies on the second, and then 4 pennies on the third day, and I just kept doubling it? I did this for a month. How much money would you have at the end of the month?
$10.
It's over $10 million.
Yeah, that's the answer. I researched YouTube pretty badly to find out the equation for this, so anybody who cares, take a look at this.
In order to solve this problem, take 0.01, which is the amount of a penny, times 2 to represent the doubling, and then raise that to the power of 30, which is roughly how many days are in a month. 0.01 times 2 raised to the 30th is 10,737,418.24
Well, our travelers close up all the air, but it doesn't help since there's a little rip in the roof, which gets the driver to crash and our friend Julian to kill himself. Bye-bye.
Water contamination has surfaced.
They get to this intersection and are stopped by this soldier guy.
My name is Private Oster. I'm stationed at West Dover Military Base, about 10 miles back. I think they've been affected by whatever's happening.
They ask what's going on, and he's all like...
Cheese and crackers.
Yep, cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers. Lots of people like to snack on cheese and crackers without really thinking about the fat, the salt, and the calories that might be lurking.
It seems that from all directions, the happening had happened. And there's dead bodies everywhere. So they all really don't know where to go. And they also find out that Julian must have died because the town he was traveling to got affected too. And now Jess, our little girl, is an orphan. So, for some strange reason, they decide to get off the roads, even though they could actually just drive with cars over fields. It would work with that Jeep they're in, you know? Like, it doesn't seem like there are all these hills here, so why not do that? But no, they're going to keep walking. So they keep walking, and then suddenly the plants attack. This is how it looks like when the plants attack. Ooh. Come on, Poppy, give me an ooh. Ooh. And Cheese and Crackers shoots himself.
My firearm is my friend.
And Mark Wahlberg's all like, oh no.
No.
I don't know.
The toxin?
The toxin.
The toxin is affecting them?
The toxin is affecting them. And everybody gets all panicky.
Are those people killing themselves?
You were with a private. What do we do?
We need to do something.
And Mark Wahlberg needs to think.
Just let me think.
Mark Wahlberg needs a second.
I need a second.
Let's give Mark Wahlberg a second!
We can't just stand here as uninvolved observers.
I need a second, okay? Just give me a second.
Give Mark Wahlberg a second! Ah!
Just a second.
There were children in that room. Elliot, please tell us what to do.
I need a second, okay? Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?
Why can't anybody give him a second? Ah! Hello. Today I am going to explain to you how to talk like Mark Wahlberg. Always sound terribly lost and confused, but never get too angry. Be calm and peaceful, but worried and concerned. And never get too loud. Even when you're a little angrier, always keep that calm, soothing flow going. And be sure to leave unnecessary pauses in your sentences. And if you talk like that long enough, you will drive all of your friends crazy. And especially, don't forget, say everything like it is a question. And then you will master the way of talking like Mark Wahlberg. So Mark Wahlberg had his second, and this is his solution.
Something in this field could be releasing the chemical into the air when there's too many of us together. Let's just stay ahead of the wind.
And then they stare into the plants and look troubled. And then they split into even more groups. They keep walking. Their group is smaller now. Zooey Deschanel talks to Mark Wahlberg about the guy Joey, who he keeps calling her.
There was this guy, Joey. His name is Joey. He's at work. We went out and we had dessert. I went out and I had dessert with him when I told you I worked late, and I didn't work late. I'm feeling really guilty in case we're gonna die. I just wanted you to know that.
She tells them they had dessert, but doesn't mention it was tiramisu. And Mark Wahlberg's all like,
You lied to me?
And then they stumble upon this house where everything is fake.
Everything's fake.
And Mark Wahlberg starts talking to a plastic plant.
Hello? My name is Elliot Moore. I'm just going to talk in a very positive manner, giving off good vibes. We're just here to use the bathroom. And then we're just gonna leave. I hope that's okay.
And they keep walking and walking, and then they see this guy getting himself run over by a lawnmower. And then Mark Wahlberg has a story to tell a retarded new girl.
What?
If we're gonna die, I want you to know something. I was in a pharmacy a while ago. There was a really good-looking pharmacist behind the counter. Really good-looking. I went up and I asked her where the cough syrup was. I didn't even have a cough. And I almost bought it. And I'm talking about a completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup.
A completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup.
But a completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup.
A completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup.
But a completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup.
Cough syrup. So then they come upon this house, and all start acting like a bunch of maniacs. First of all, they figured out that the plants are attacking them. Why the fuck are they letting Jess swing on this tree? Why?
Maybe that's not a good idea?
And they want to get into this house to get Jess some food. Jess hasn't for a single second mentioned that she's hungry. First they think it's abandoned and want to break in, but no, they see somebody moving.
There's somebody in there.
You sure?
And Mark Wahlberg starts to talk to them.
Is there any way we could get some food? We have a little girl, we just want to get her some food.
You best leave now. You ain't gonna bring that poison gas in here with you.
And these people, they're pretty hostile, they're pretty scared of what's going on, and they're not letting Mark Wahlberg in. But Mark Wahlberg is sure that he can convince them that he is normal. And this is how he convinces them that he's normal.
We're perfectly normal. On Blackwater, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? See? We're normal.
Funny thing is, I bothered to look up the song that he's singing. The way he even sings the song is not normal. This is the way the song sounds originally.
On Blackwater, keep on rolling.
Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me?
On Blackwater.
And this is how Mark Wahlberg sings it.
On Blackwater, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me?
Then for some no explicable reason, one of the kids starts acting out completely.
Open the door, bitch!
And then this happens.
No!
And the other kid gets shot too. The original cut showed the shooting of the second kid a bit more brutally.
And it felt a little gratuitous, like I was actually forcing their faces to look at how disgusting this is. So I took it out.
I don't really think M. Night knows how R-rated movies really look like. The funniest thing is what Mark Wahlberg actually says to the kid whose brains just got blown off after he's dead.
We're gonna get out of this nightmare.
So they end up meeting this woman.
You lost?
Who, like, has this own secluded house. And she starts talking very weird to them, but it's pretty much used to. Nobody really has any normal dialogue in this movie at all.
Why are you eyeing my lemon drink?
And I am sure that this isn't lemonade, because you call lemonade lemonade. This must be something else. And I'm wondering why she chooses to call it lemon drink. Maybe it's a secret. What sort of lemon drink is this woman drinking? Please tell us in the comments. I'd really like to know what you guys think.
I suppose the kind thing for me to do is to offer you supper.
Anyway, this woman secludes herself from the world. She doesn't know what's going on, and she does not want to know what's going on.
The world don't care about me. I don't care about it.
She's either totally friendly,
I hope the meal was sufficient,
or downright aggressive. And nobody really bats an eye.
Don't touch things that aren't yours.
So our gang spends the night there, and Mark Wahlberg and Brenda New Girl are talking about everything that's going on.
You've been great taking care of Jess.
And then the woman with the lemon drink appears, and the most famous scene of the film happens. I'm just gonna let you guys watch it.
I hear you whispering. Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
And just when you thought things couldn't get more crazier than they are in this film, we get this little scene.
Crazy lady.
You trying to steal my things?
No. No, Mrs. Jones, I actually wanted to talk with you.
You all are gonna leave right now!
Ma'am.
The woman kicks them out, and before she does that, she steps out shortly for no reason at all and ends up getting infected by whatever's happening. And this happens. And now Mark Wahlberg, retard New Girl, and Jess can't stay in the house because the window's open and they could get affected by the plants and their evil toxins.
Toxin?
So they decide to go into the spring house on this property, where Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel start talking about mood rings.
You bought me the mood ring.
It turned purple when you wore it.
Then you said, that means you're in love.
And being horny in front of a 6 to 7 year old orphan.
Then we checked the little paper chart and it turned out that purple meant I was horny. You love that.
After about waiting for what feels like 30 minutes, they notice that they can't take it anymore and just walk out and nothing happens. Whatever has been going on just suddenly ended and nobody knows why. Yep. This anticlimactic thing seems to be M. Night Shyamalan's big twist in this film. Everybody says M. Night Shyamalan didn't have a cameo in this film, but he did. He was the guy on the phone talking to the retarded new girl, Joey. That was M. Night. So that means M. Night was the one who was on a date with Zooey Deschanel, and they had tiramisu together. It's all over. 3 months pass. Jess is now living with Mark Wahlberg and retarded new girl. We see a news report where they slightly try to explain to us what happened.
As everyone knows by now, traces of the neurotoxin have been found in some plants and trees. Now, most environmentalists feel that this event is like the red tide in the ocean, but instead of algae killing fish, this happened on land. Now, plants and trees just can't pick up and move when they feel threatened like other species. They have only one option: to rapidly evolve their chemistry.
And then we move to Zooey Deschanel, who is pregnant. And Mark Wahlberg's really happy about that. I never knew that this was such an important aspect of this film. Well, maybe if M. Night hadn't cut out the scene in the beginning of the film that was originally planned to be in there, this would have made a bigger difference.
The reason I'm scared to have kids, Elliot, is all I see when I look at the world is crap.
Well, then we get a cut to France where the events from before are taking place again. A sequel on this. I would have loved to have seen a sequel on this. And that is where the movie ends. So what went wrong here? Let's think about this. What went wrong? Well, we had good actors. Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel have done great things, but you don't really see them acting good in this movie. So the direction M. Night must have given was probably totally off. Back in the day, Mark Wahlberg was only accustomed to playing bad guys and cops in films. So he was fascinated by playing a science teacher.
Nobody, certainly from my school days, would believe that I would be playing, especially of all teachers, a science teacher. It was my worst subject. I didn't tell that tonight going in, obviously, because I wanted the role. So I did some studying up and spent quite a bit of time at the Ben Franklin Institute in Philadelphia.
He sadly regrets that he was in this. Oh, Mark Wahlberg, don't hate yourself because of this film. I mean, you brought us so many laughs. There are people out there who love this movie, including me. So Mark Wahlberg went on to play The Fighter and The Other Guys and Ted, all very successful movies. Zooey Deschanel went on playing in a Jim Carrey film called Yes Man, which is actually very funny, and became the person we all love and know today, New Girl. M. Night hadn't hit the bottom of his barrel yet. The next movie he made was The Last Airbender. No film in the world that he has ever done is despised as much as this one. And then he tried to get back on track with After Earth. After Earth also pretty much has the same reputation as The Happening and Lady in the Water. It was when he made The Visit and Split that M. Night Shyamalan was considered a good director by many people again. So everyone, this was the Movie Void. You will see me when you see me.
Oh, really?
And we will start doing Christmas specials next week.
It's such a